Hi guys, and welcome. It's me, Baby Tenno. In this video, I'll be showing you guys the method that I normally use to farm for primary and secondary arcane. In my opinion, this is the easiest method because you don't need to be super geared up to farm for these arcanes. Anyway, let's waste no more time and let's see how it works. The map that I chose for this method is V Prime, which is a survival mission on Venus. Make sure that you are also playing on Steel Path difficulty, since you cannot get the arcanes in the normal one. When you first enter the map, you might notice that the spawn room that you get is not the same as mine. In fact, might not even be the same as your previous round. This is because there are 3 types of spawn room in this map, which are this one, and this one. Make sure that you are spawning in this specific room or else it will not work. The reason that you want to spawn in this room is because the enemy can come from many directions. Plus, this room doesn't have many corners and many floors for the enemy to hide, which makes it easier for us to kill them. Now moving on to the frame. The frame that you want to play is Octavia. This is because you can pretty much kill anything at any level without taking any damage by using her skills alone. For those who doesn't know how Octavia Skills work, I'll briefly go through it. But for those who already does, you can skip to this timestamp. The way that her first skill works is that she will throw a mallet as a bait and will deal damage around itself. The more damage the mallet receives, the more damage it will deal to the enemy. Therefore, no matter how high the enemy level is, as long as they still shoot your mallet, they will still die. Next is her second skill, Resonator. This skill will basically carry your mallet around to make sure that all the enemy dies, since mallet cannot damage enemies through walls or obstacles. Third skill, Metronome. This skill will provide armor buff as well as additional buffs when you synchronize any specific actions like jump, shoot, crouch or melee with your music. But for this method, you will only have to focus on one buff, which is the invisibility buff, by doing crouches. During the mission, make sure that you are always invisible, so that all the enemies can focus on your mallet instead of you. By doing this, you will never be targeted at all, therefore you will never die. However, make sure that you don't walk in front of your mallet, since enemy's shot can still hit you when you are invisible. And last, her fourth skill, Amp. This skill will allow you to throw a ball that will give you a damage multiplier buff, but more importantly, double the damage and range of your mallet. By combining these 4 skills together, you will be able to kill any enemy despite their level, as well as not being targeted by anything. For the mods that I used for Octavia are these right here. As you can see that there are only 2 things that I prioritize, which are duration and range. You won't be needing strength because your mallet already scales so fast that even when you have less than 100 strength, it still kills enemy in an instant. Flow is optional since it only makes your energy pool larger, which means that you will not have to go around and collect energy as often. But for those who are not that familiar with Octavia, or if you are scared that you might die, you can change either Intensify or Flow for some survivability mods like Vitality or Adaptation. Now moving on to the method that I use. In this method, you will have to keep your third and fourth skill up all the time to make sure that you are always invisible, as well as always providing buffs for your mallet. After that, you will then have to throw your first skill and second skill down, and then you're done. You can lay back and enjoy watching your mallet kills everything. When the acolytes spawn, they will use that skill, whether it will be pulling you, pushing you, or even TPing you right next to them. If that happens, don't be panicked and try to keep jumping away from them until they stop. During that time, your mallet will slowly damaging the acolyte until they're dead. As you can see that in this method, weapons are not required at all, since you will never have to shoot or hit any enemy, even the acolyte. Now let's skip to 60 minutes. As you can see that although it's been 60 minutes, we are still doing the same thing, doing balls and picking life support up. Note that the longer you play, the easier these acolytes become, since acolyte level doesn't increase no matter how long you play, unlike the normal enemies. Which means that our mallet will deal more and more damage as time goes, while acolyte health stays the same. Lastly, in this mission, other than the arcanes, it is also a good way to farm Steel Essences, Revenge Shard, as well as some Endo as well. Since you'll be getting 2 Steel Essences per acolyte kill without a boost, as well as Revenge Shard and Endos that will drop from time to time from enemies' death. Note that you can also bring a Smeared Cavat to increase your loot. However, you will have to revive it quite a lot of times, since it will keep walking around and die. So if you don't really care much about Steel Essence, or if you don't want to keep reviving your cat all the time, just go with the Sentinel. And that is it for the method that I normally use to farm for the arcane in Steel Path. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, and if you don't want to miss out on my next video, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video. If there is one.